Thanks again, everybody, for checking us out, Reaching Upward. We hope the videos you're finding here on YouTube or the content you're finding on reachingupward.com or on the Facebook page or Twitter feed or whatever, however you've come to us, we hope these things have been encouraging for you as we're all reaching upward together toward heaven. I want to talk to you about a phrase that Jesus used quite often throughout his ministry. And at face value, it seems really simple, but actually I think it's the hardest thing Jesus ever said. In Matthew chapter 4, and in verse 19, he sees two brothers, Simon and Andrew. Simon would later be called Peter. And whenever he sees them, he says, "Follow me." Now, at first, that sounds like no big deal. Okay, follow you. Think about it. Where were they going to go? What was going to happen? Who were they going to be with? Jesus doesn't say any of that stuff. He just says, "Follow me." There's a lot of uncertainty. There's a lot of danger. There's a lot of risk in following Jesus. I mean, that's why a lot of us are a lot more comfortable identifying ourselves as something other than being disciples or followers of Jesus. There's a couple of challenges I think this text, this story gives us about what it means to really follow Jesus and the challenge of that instruction. One thing is, if we follow Jesus, he's going to change who we are. We're not going to be who the world wants us to be or who we want to be. We're going to be who Jesus wants us to be. That's what he promises Simon and Andrew. He says, "Follow me. Stop being fishermen. I'm going to make you fishers of men." Jesus is going to change who you are if you follow him. Are you willing to let that change happen in your life? Another thing I learned is that if I follow Jesus, I've got to give up everything. For instance, Simon and Andrew, they had to give up their nets. The thing that made them money and was their livelihood, they had to give that up and just trust Jesus to take care of them. Maybe Jesus is going to make you give up some possessions or some things that you thought you needed for your life to work out, but you got to give them up to follow him. In the very next couple of verses, James and John have to leave their father even. Now, they would see their father and stuff, but that relationship was different. They were following Jesus, not following after anybody else. Who are you following? Are you following your friends at school or the people you work with or the people you see on TV? Or are you following Jesus in everything he does and everything he says being the defining element of your life? And finally, the last thing I see here is that Jesus didn't force them into it. This is a choice they had to make. Jesus isn't going to come into your heart and just drag you to follow him. He just, as he's walking by, is going to say, "Hey, follow me." And you've got to decide if you have the courage to deny yourself, to take up your cross, and follow him to the eternal life that he's promised. Hope that these are helpful for you. I hope you'll get into the Gospels. I hope you'll listen to the voice of Jesus. And I hope all of us will choose to follow Jesus as we are reaching upward together toward heaven. Thanks.